Johnny the Cajun Gambit. We're gonna do a review. Let's check this out.
Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen. Off, the Scandinavian defense immediately challenges the center by attacking the e4 pawn. Your pawn is no longer hanging and is now defended. This maintains the balance of material with a good trade. That was an even swap of material. This is an equal trade. Recapturing. Black develops the knight and attacks the center. That's a useful pin you found. The bishop moves forward into the game. So you are bringing your knight into play, eyeing the central squares. The bishop is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. You trade off equal material. Takes back. You are losing a pawn this way. This misses a better way to tactically win a pawn. You overlooked an opportunity to prevent castling. You permitted the opponent to force isolated doubled pawns. This misses an opportunity to force isolated doubled pawns. This permits the opponent to force isolated... You missed an opportunity to force isolated doubled pawns. You allowed the opponent to force isolated doubled pawns. This overlooks an opportunity to force isolated doubled pawns. There was only one good move and you found it. You dodged the check, moving your king out of harm. After all captures, this is an equal trade. You take back, developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. Not the best move, but not bad either. This threatens to force isolated doubled pawns. You had a better option, but this is not bad. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. You moved quickly, missing the only good move. One of the best moves. Good job defending that pawn. This overlooks an opportunity to create a pawn chain. You missed an opportunity to challenge the opposing rook for the open file. The bishop is ready to be developed to an active square. That pawn chain will help strengthen your pawn structure. This creates an isolated pawn. You exchange pieces of equal value. This threatens to win material through a tactic. You captured that free pawn. This threatens to tactically win a knight. You found a safer square for your rook. This threatens to tactically win a knight. This is the only move that works, and you found it. This is an equal trade. That was an even swap of material. This is not the right idea. This move is okay, but not what I would have played. There were worse moves, but also something much better. You trade off equal material. Takes back. You escape the check from the rook. A solid choice. You step your king away from the checking rook. A very strong play. That pawn chain will help strengthen your pawn structure. This is a fair move. Good job, that's what I would have played too. This activates the king in the endgame by getting... This is a fine move. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. You had a chance to play something better. This is not the right idea. You have to use your king in the endgame. This misses a better way to attack a pawn chain. Not the best move, but not bad either. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. You captured back. This misses an opportunity to set up a blockade. Nice, definitely the right move. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. Your opponent has to watch that passed pawn. That's fine. Yes, this is the way. This is a fair move. Good job, that's what I would have played too. This moves the rook to safety. The winning edge is gone, but you still hold the better position. One of the best moves. You overlooked an opportunity to block a check from the opposing rook. That's not a mistake, but it's not... You had a better option, but this is not bad. This overlooks a better way to tactically win a pawn. Passed pawns must be pushed. That's fine. Your passed pawn is one step closer to promotion. A solid choice. Your passed pawn advances to its goal. Very precise. Very good choice. This move puts the rook on a safer square. Good thinking. That pawn was free for the taking. Your opponent has to watch that passed pawn. This is a fair move. This move makes your piece much more effective. Pushing a passed pawn. Passed pawns must be pushed. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. Nice, definitely the right move. Placing a rook behind an opposing passed pawn can... Good job stepping in to defend your pawn. This is the way to win a rook. The only move, and you found it. Recaptures. Your pawn now promotes to queen. This moves the rook to safety. You dodge the check, moving your king out of harm's way. This misses an opportunity to use a rook to counter a passed pawn. Well done, an excellent move. This steps away from the checking queen. This move is okay, but not what I... This moves the rook to safety. Yes, this is the way. This moves the rook to... Your passed pawn is one step closer to promotion. This allows the opponent... There was a chance to win a rook, but you are still winning. This allows the opponent to eventually win material. You overlooked a better way to win material through a tactic. This loses a rook. You promote your pawn to a... This is the strongest option. Getting closer to the forced checkmate. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. You continue the checkmate attack. This evades the check from the queen. You're still on the road to checkmate. Pushing a passed pawn. You continue the checkmate attack. This evades the check from the queen. You're still on the road to checkmate. Right on target. You missed a better way to tactically win a pawn. This permits the opponent to force eventual checkmate. You can now win with a forced checkmate. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. You continue the checkmate attack. This threatens to promote a pawn to a piece. Your move gets closer to checkmate. This evades the check from the queen. You're continuing down the road to checkmate. You continue the checkmate attack. Checkmate is always the best move.
If you like the content we're putting out on the channel, please subscribe.